Hey guys, my name is Roman Zjavin. I'm from European Motor Service. Today I try to show you guys how to remove and install new intake manifold. I have a lot of phone calls regarding that, and that's why I want to make the video of that. This is the old intake, and then how to install that intake manifold actuator. You already have my video. So now I want to show you how to remove this all components, which is the intake manifold. So I will have today 2009 GL 450 Mercedes, and I want to show you. So let's go to the shop. Okay guys, so like I said, 2009 GL 450. So this car, like a GL, is different because have the bar, so you gotta take the bar out. R class, you gotta take the old cover under the windshield because the engine going more inside. E class, C class, S class is easier, you don't have to do anything. So that's what you take the cover out. And the more popular tools for that is a torque. That'll be a T30 and then E10. So those are two very popular tools to remove the intake. Also you can use wrench 17 for breaking the line, but that's pretty much what it is. So now we take the covers out. But like you see, you can't take this out without take the arm out. So I gotta take that arm out to remove the air filter. Okay guys, now like you see, you gotta disconnect the electrical components and then disconnect the computer. So now you see that main computer is disconnected. Now you just gotta follow whatever is wires attaching to those connector, coil, to sensors, everything, whatever you see, it's coming like that, so you disconnect it. So now you disassembly, that's airflow meter. And in the bottom of that is the connector, so whatever you see, every wires, you gotta just disconnect it. If you're not sure, sometimes it's okay for you to mark it, so you know which wire go to where, in case you're not familiar with that. But it's each connector is kind of different, so it will be hard to miss it. Even the coil, you see like a 1, 2, and 3, so it's hard. Maybe lose the pressure. Sometimes you can do, you have the connector here, so you can unscrew that and press the button for release the pressure, and then you unscrew that fuel line. I use the torque T30. Alright. T30. Be careful with those connectors, plastics, because you know they're easy to break. I'll leave it with that. Now we use the E10. Make sure if you don't, of course, you don't do this often, so make sure you put some bags and then put the screws to each bag so you know where the bolt going to. You have those two brackets left and right, so it's like 3 bolts to hold that. So you're gonna take this out. Okay, now we take the front air pump out. And like I said, be careful with those plastic clips. They go easy out if you press that clip to unplug it. As a vacuum. So like you see, is a lot of parts, plastic mostly, to disconnect it. Now you gotta disconnect the camshaft magnet, you have 2 of them. Now you gotta disconnect the injector. You don't have to take that fuel rail out, because when you remove that fuel rail, then you have a problem to put the injector back because the seal O-ring, so you can leave it like it is. Only you remove that fuel rail if the intake is broken, but I'll get to that later. So right now, you just unscrew that. Like I said, it's okay to release that pressure, and then you unscrew that line with a 17 wrench. So you will leave it. We only disconnected injectors, like this one. You push, you move that plastic, the clip plastic out, like up, and then they'll go in, then you slide that, see that oil. You see the oil is leaking here. They have issue with the harness too. Mostly it's coming oil from camshaft magnet. So that's why they put like a dealer. They put like extension wire here. But you can check that as well. You know, if you have oil inside the connectors, then it's better to remove that camshaft magnet. You have 2, one side to the other side. They're not expensive. So altogether is 4. V6, V8, they have 4 magnets. But that's why the oil, it's leaking here because of that camshaft. And also I would tell you later what else I recommended to replace it, because the reason the oil is pushing out because you have the crank ventilation valve, and then crank ventilation valve would create pressure, and that's why it's pushing oil out. So like you see, you move that little Christmas tree wires. It's so many of them, but like some cars, you gotta take that coil out. Some, like this one, you don't have to. But you figure out whatever is on your way to remove the intake, then you remove it, disconnect it. You can get some like a little magnet to remove those bolts here. If you reach by hand, you can take it, but if not, just pull the magnet and then pull it, so you not lose it. Because if you lose it, you lose it. Don't lose it. It's okay to take that dirt, dust out, because when you pull it, you don't want the dirt go inside to your intake, to the engine. So we blow this thing out. The reason we take the air pump out, because it's easier to get to the hoses. You don't have to, but when you take this off, you realize it's better to take the air pump out. It's only like 3 bolts. Actually, one over there is 4 bolts. I think the more problem you have it with those connectors, because not it's easy to remove it. Because plastic dry, and you make sure you press that button, but like I said, it's not easy to see it, which button you gotta press it to slide out, and then that's probably make you upset. Okay, you see that hose, the vacuum line is going to the intake, and it's like a plastic connector. I rather to disconnect that white plastic from the black rubber, because sometimes the rubber is dry out the plastic inside the vacuum, and it's hard to remove it. When you remove it, sometimes you break that knob inside, and then pretty much the intake is no good. They don't sell it, it's hard to find it. You probably gotta find some used intake and then get that plastic out. Even if you want to take out from there, better to use the vice grip. Move left and right first, move it back and forth, and then when you remove it, then you slide this out. Other than that, when you have access like this one, push it and then take from here. All right, that's my another advice. Okay, so what you want to do is you put the pliers, and then you put like the sharp L hook, and you put inside of the hose, and then move like left and right like this, so you and lose that dry thing, and then you pull it. Okay, so this is good to have it, and then you would not break that vacuum, and that's how I take this out. All right, so now we're ready to remove the intake. All right, you can use zip tight or any wires to move those harness a little bit away when you try to remove the intake. Why we do that? To remove it is okay, but when you try to install it with the gasket, that's where the problem starts. So if the gasket will come out and you put on, then came out the gasket from the spot, and then the car will be leaking vacuum, and then you got to remove everything out. Now you see that the hose going to the throttle body. So don't worry about it when you get the hose is kind of long, so then you just disconnect it from there. And then of course, like again, connector plastic, so they don't make anything easy. Don't break that connectors, because if you break it, then it would not go and stay in. The best is to take the sawzall, cut it. Yeah. Sawzall is good for wood. Okay. So let me just tell you one thing. One thing I just want to tell you, like extra. Doesn't matter if it's V8 or V6 engine, they have a problem with the oil leak. So they have in the back of the intake, they call camshaft cap, and the other side they said the crank ventilation valve. This is just the cap, it's not the ventilation valve, but that's what they call. Ventilation valve, when you take the cap out, it's inside. I will show you in a second. Okay, so that's what it is, the crank ventilation valve. And on top of that is coming the cap with the 3 screws. The very important, remember, is reverse thread. So this is sitting inside where is the cam. And if you want to remove that, is a reverse thread. Don't forget that, because if you try to lose it, you pretty much tight, and then you break the bolts, and then you'll be in trouble. So remember, to remove that passenger side, you take the cover out, and that's crank ventilation valve. So you put in, and then remove it. You gotta remove reverse thread, which is you tight, you lose that bolt. All right. So that's extra for that. Now come back to the intake. So you see the problem here, like every other cars. The difference between V8 and V6, V8 has only 2 valves. So one, the main thread is moving to that piece, and another one, it's here. So always I would recommend it, take this out and then lubricate, but now we replace that intake manifold actuator and clean that little bit intake and then put that intake back. Okay. Is one tip with the gasket. The gasket have like 3 dots, so you know I always put like a socket and then try to put this thing on like that. But this doesn't work that good because still the gasket will be not in the place. So what I do, I spray like one side the glue. You can use that glue only one side so the gasket will stay, because when you put on and the gasket would came out, you would not see it, and then you gotta do this job over again because it will be sucking the air. So this is okay, but it's not really hold the gasket. So you put the glue and you point it, and then the gasket would stay. You 100% know. Okay, that's the one tip. All right, so now when we complete the intake, we put that throttle body, we put the gasket and the intake actuator. So now we're ready to put that intake in the spot. So first you start with that throttle body. Hold this.
No, throttle body is not right.
Yeah, it's a sensor.
So make sure when you put that thing on, watch that gasket. Alright. So everything is in place. Now you just reverse what we disconnected. Now you're just going back, retort the intake, connect the all wires, and the vacuums. All right? Okay guys, so that was my demonstration how to remove and install the intake. I hope you guys like it, and then I'll help you a lot. And if you have any question, you can always call me. The number will be in my screen, or send me email, or say like thank you, whatever it is you comment regarding that my recording with that remove the intake. Thank you.